The market is hot. You're trying to figure out what you need to do with your money in your 401k, and you say, maybe I should just take it all out, put it in cash, and let the pullback happen. Totally fine if you have saved enough money and you don't need any risk for your retirement portfolio. But what happens if you need the risk to make the money? Well, let's take a look at this chart. 10 years of the S&P 500. Looking at this right this second, it's easy to say, hey, you know what? Let's just say in 2022, we're going to take all of our money out. We're going to put it in cash. We're going to let the market fall. And then it's going to rally in 2024. We're going to then let it all make a lot of money and then take it out again. It's easy to look at with this chart. And as they say, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. The problem is what I've seen so many different times, and I express to clients who want to take some money out. And again, if their plan allows it, that's okay. But in this scenario, what we're looking at is, when do you get back in? It's easy to think that you're going to say, I'm going to buy back in, let's just say at the dip of 2022. But where is the bottom at, and where do you actually feel comfortable doing it? Because what ends up happening, I find, is so many people, when the market is continuing to fall, they're like, I don't know, I think it's going to fall a little bit more, and you don't ever jump back into the market. So that's just one problem I see with the 401k that we really have to make sure that we're doing, is really not timing the market. Instead, think about it this way, taking a look at this chart again, and I'll go into some other things here in a minute on really just working with your 401k and making sure you make the right decisions. But if you're looking at this scenario, if you were able to just put your money in, allow it to be invested, if nothing else, make sure that you've aligned your new investments going in to continuously invest in the market. Because even in a falling market, you can dollar cost average in, drip the money in. That's what you're doing with your paycheck. Every time you get a paycheck, a little bit of money goes into your 401k and invested in the market. Some people adjust it when the market's really high. They may take a little bit off to the sides if their plan allows for it and you can take a little less risk. But the new money going in, sometimes you're able to adjust your 401k so that you can actually buy more into the market with the new money going in, but the other money can be invested differently. So check into your plan, figure out, what that looks like directly for you. So that's one side of the 401k. Now let's talk about retired Roger and what retired Roger may be doing as a mistake with his. Well, so if we look here at retired Roger, he's 44 years old. He hasn't saved a significant amount of money. He's got $25,000 invested. How is he invested, though? That's a big question and a big problem with people with their 401k. If they're wanting to play it safe, you don't have a lot invested, you're trying to play catch up, but you're over here and you're playing in a balanced portfolio, getting an average 6.2% return versus possibly going a lot more aggressive and getting at least an 8.2% return. Well, what does that do for Roger and his portfolio here? Well, if he's 44, he wants to retire at, let's just jump back here for a second. Retired Roger wants to retire at 63, $5,000 in monthly expenses. He's making $100,000 a year. He's going to get $2,400 in his Social Security. And then on top of that, he's going to max out his 401k, and he's getting a 4% match. So that's just kind of give you an idea. Maybe this is your scenario, maybe it's not. But for retired Roger here, we're looking at his plan. This shows you he's going to have a 73% probability of success and $730,000 potentially remaining at the end of the plan if he's investing the money decent. But if he's only doing like a balanced portfolio, not taking much risk with the money, 48% probability of success and $0. It's not looking too good for Roger. So we've got to make sure that we're investing and also investing with enough growth in your portfolio for the long term here. Now, if you're getting ready to retire tomorrow, this might not be the tip for you, but just making sure that if you have a long runway to go, that you're not being too conservative with your dollars if you need to make this money to make it last during the retirement years. Now, what about a 401k? A lot of people ask about a Roth 401k, and before I even show you this model and break it down for you, I want to express some things that I've seen as I've done a lot of different strategy and study on this and planning with this to figure out what's the best scenario. A lot of people say we'll do all pre-tax dollars because when you retire, you're going to be in a lower tax bracket. And that might definitely be the case, but you're still going to have to pay on all of the growth in that account. Versus if you take the Roth dollars, you pay the tax today, and then you allow it to grow tax-free the rest of your life. Now, one thing you've got to think through, though, is retired Roger here, if he's making $100,000 a year and he's able to save, let's just say $20,000 to his 401k. Well, if he's saving $20,000 to his 401k, But if he actually puts it in pre-tax, he's able to save $20,000 and then save an additional $4,000 in taxes due to that. Well, now maybe he has $4,000 extra he can invest somewhere else. But a lot of people don't do that. They put the $20,000 in, they save the $4,000 in taxes, and they just blow it and put it somewhere else, buying different things and having some fun with the money. So if you're already going to blow the tax savings dollars, the Roth 401k is always the best option because it is going to set you up on a great path here. So unless you're saving the tax savings, consider doing the Roth. That's what I like to talk about there. So let's look at this and see exactly what the apples to apples scenario is. So if we refresh this here, we're looking apples to apples doing the Roth versus the pre-tax account. The 83% probability of success and over nearly $400,000 more that he would have if he did the Roth 401k. So just breaking this down, there's a lot of different takeaways we can look at here. We want to make sure that we're not just trying to time the market with your 401k. You don't want to just jump in and out and try to figure that out. From there, we want to make sure that you're investing the right way for what you need for your goals in retirement. So looking here, you can see maybe having a little bit more growth if you have a longer runway to the retirement years instead of trying to be too tricky with that and try to be too conservative. Then looking at this, the Roth 401k always wins as long as you have the ability to do that and you're not saving the additional savings from taxes in a different account. So those are just a few different things. I'm sure you can think of something else. If you have something that you're thinking of, maybe just throw it below so that it can help some other people. And if you have anything else you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to do it.